afternoon and happy Black History Month. So during Black History Month, we come together as a nation to honor and celebrate our history. The history of Black excellence and leadership, culture and creativity, resilience and resistance. To build a brighter future for our nation, we must learn from our past. Let us not be seduced into believing that somehow it will be better to forget if we edit out the bad parts. No, we will be stronger when we remember. We will be better when we remember. Only if we learn the lessons of our history can we ensure that the wrongs and injustices will not be repeated. So let history remind us of the strength of the movements for progress and freedom in our nation, that America's most sacred principles have been realized and strengthened when we, the people, fought for them, generation after generation.
Kamala just talked about the power of Black history, that is, in American history. Black excellence, culture, resilience, heroes known and unknown who inspired a nation. That's the very idea of America, the very idea of America. And you know that we're all created equal in the image of God, deserved to be treated equal throughout our lives. We've never fully lived up to that, but we've never walked away from before because of you and your ancestors before you, because of all the progress we made together.
President, another round of applause.
Welcome back, Olaf. Thank you very much for making the effort to be here. And about 2 years ago, you said the United States and Germany have to act together, and we've been doing that. We have to pass the national security spending package now, including funding for Ukraine. Today we'll also discuss the work we're going to be doing together to strengthen NATO ahead of the 75th NATO summit this summer here. So Olaf, I got a lot to talk about, and thank you very, very much for being here.
So I'm told that the year of the wood dragon asks us to come to each other with kindness and empathy and selflessness, and how small acts of kindness really do matter. And like the dragon, you pursue pearls of wisdom as you serve each day, looking for the good in everything that you do. May this year bring all of you good fortune and health and prosperity.
Let me start by welcoming His Majesty, the King of Jordan. He's been a good friend. Abdullah, welcome back to the White House, man. Welcome back. We're grateful to our partners and allies like the King, who work with us every single day to advance security and stability across the region and beyond. It's difficult times like these, when the bonds between nations are more important than ever. Republicans and Democrats in the Senate came together to send a message of unity to the world. It's time for the House Republicans to do the same thing. to pass this bill immediately, to stand for decency, stand for democracy, to stand up to a so-called leader hell-bent on weakening American security. And I mean it sincerely. History is watching. History is watching. I had a bipartisan deal to secure the border, including critical funding for Border Patrol and immigration enforcement. But the Republicans said no. Now, Republicans are skipping town for almost 2 weeks instead of funding border security. Less funding for the border means it's harder for law enforcement to do their job. It's harder to stop fentanyl coming into the country. Republicans leaving town saying no to more funding is playing politics over the safety of the American people. They say the border is their priority, but given their actions, clearly it's not. We look out for one another. We leave no one behind, and we come back stronger than before. That's what you're doing here. That's what's happening right here in this community.
It's been a year since a Norfolk Southern freight train carrying hazardous chemicals derailed, releasing toxins into the environment and upending countless lives. For many, it's been a year of fear, uncertainty, and disarray.
Our village has faced many challenges, but as a community, we have shown resilience. We will not be defined by this single event, rather our response to it and our perseverance.
All told, we have done in 1 year what would typically take many years, and we're going to keep going. My administration ordered Norfolk Southern to clean up the mess it created and ensure it was done right. That includes an executive order I signed to continue our priority to hold Norfolk Southern fully accountable for this disaster and any long-term effects, not just here, but also in Darlington, Pennsylvania, where I just visited. Working with the state, we've tested the air, the water, the soil quality, deployed teams of health experts, provided emergency loans for local businesses. But it's not done yet. There's more to do. We're not going home, no matter what till this job is done. And it's not done yet. An attack on one is an attack on all. That's what NATO's Article 5 says. It's a simple but powerful concept, and it embodies why one of America's greatest sources of strength is our alliances. They're not only important to us, they're important to the rest of the world. In the entire history of NATO, Article 5 has only been invoked once to stand with the United States of America after we were attacked on 9/11. The whole world knows if any adversary were to attack us, our NATO allies would have our back. And they know we would have their backs as well. We have to stand up to Putin and pass the national bipartisan bill, the National Security Bill, supporting Ukraine as they defend themselves against Putin's vicious onslaught. The Senate's already acted. It's time for the House to act now because the votes are there. The Speaker needs to call a vote and abide by the will of the House. A clear majority supports what the Senate supports. So we can stand with Ukraine and send them the supplies they need to defend themselves. And prove to the world once more, America can be relied on. We stand strong with our allies. We have to remember who we are. We're the United States of America. We keep our commitments. We never walk away from our friends. And we sure as hell don't bow down to Vladimir Putin. Starting today, we're canceling student debt for borrowers who are enrolled in the SAVE plan and have been paying student loans for as little as 10 years. This action will be a huge help to graduates of community college and borrowers of smaller loans, putting them back on track faster for debt forgiveness than ever before. I'm proud to have been able to give borrowers like so many of you the relief you earned. I promise you I'm never going to stop fighting for hardworking American families. you doing, man?
I'm doing better now, Mr. President, now that I get a chance to see you.
Well, you're nice to see you.
Absolutely. What do we owe you? 3, and then up here, excellent. And then, thank you very much.
This morning I had the honor of meeting with Congressional Navalny's wife and daughter. As to state the obvious, he was a man of incredible courage, and it's amazing how his wife and daughter are emulating that. And we're going to be announcing the sanctions against Putin, who is responsible for his death, tomorrow. So we're not letting up. I want to thank you all for delivering historic results for the American people. You've been incredible partners. Governors know the measure of success isn't how many partisan points we score, it's did we fix the problem. We're all here for one reason, to fix the problems, to get things done for families, for communities, for the country. That's why I kept my commitment to be president for all Americans, whether you voted for me or not. I appreciate Governor Caucus' effort to make the mission of the NGA to get those of us who disagree with one another to listen to one another, to treat one another with a sense of dignity and respect. That's essential in the part of America. That's how we get things done. And when folks in your state look around and see more factories coming in, more shovels in the ground, more people going to work, more access to affordable internet, I hope they feel the pride in their hometowns, making a comeback, the pride in America.
President Joe Biden.
Today, I'm taking the most significant action any president ever taken to protect America's data, and I'm determined to protect American privacy. Thanks to the law enforcement and community leaders here today who have helped bring down violent crime rates in their cities to historic lows. Last year, the United States had one of the lowest rates of all violent crime in more than 50 years. Murder, rape, aggravated assault, robbery all dropped sharply, along with burglary, property crime, and theft. Because the American Rescue Plan, we have the largest federal investment in fighting crime and preventing violent crime in any time in our history. My plan goes after the scourge of gun violence in America. I've taken more executive actions to stop the flow of illegal guns than any other administration in history. Our plan's working, but we still have much more to do, as everyone at this table knows. And that's why we're here today. My administration is going to choose progress over politics, and communities across the country are safer as a result of that. It's time to act. It's long past time to act. I just received a briefing from the Border Patrol, as well as Immigration and Enforcement, asylum officers, and they're all doing incredible work under really tough conditions. They desperately need more resources. And months ago, my team began a serious negotiation in a bipartisan group of senators, leading conservative Republicans and progressive Democrats. And it resulted in a compromise bill. It's the toughest set of border security reforms we've ever seen in this country. Folks, the bipartisan border security deal is a win for the American people. And it's a win for the people of Texas. This is a truly bipartisan initiative. I didn't get everything I wanted in that compromised bipartisan bill, but neither did anybody else. Compromise is part of the process. That's how democracy works. That's how it's supposed to work. This bill was in the United States Senate. It was on its way to being passed. Then it was derailed by rank partisan politics. The U.S. Senate needs to reconsider this bill, and those senators who oppose it need to set politics aside and pass it on merits, not on whether it's going to benefit one party or benefit the other party. It's about whether it benefits the American people.